You know, I talked about this the other day. I was in Baltimore talking about, you know, all the things that are happening in Prince George's County. And 5 years ago, that wouldn't have been the discussion about, you know, the things that are happening here. 5 years ago, we came into office, Mary and I, and there was an FBI investigation going on in Prince George's County. But a mere 5.5 years later, we're very close to getting the FBI to come to Prince George's County to consolidate it. You know, 5 years ago, we wouldn't have had a discussion about a regional medical center and how we're going to provide health care throughout Prince George's County. Wherever you think it might go, that wouldn't have been a discussion we would have had, because the idea that we could actually do something with that medical system would not have been there. And we certainly wouldn't have had a discussion of moving that medical system to Largo Town Center so that we can do development around it. But we're going to have that in Prince George's County. And 5 years ago, we wouldn't have had a discussion like we had, a very heated discussion about how much Prince George's County was going to invest in education, and whether in fact we thought the residents should pay more to invest in that education. No matter what side you were on that debate when we put the money in, the fact that in the 30 years or 25 years that I've been dealing with politics in Prince George's County, we never ever had a discussion about how much resources we're going to put in the education system. We had a lot of discussions about the governance structure of our education system. We had a lot of discussions about whether in fact we had the right superintendent. But we never had the type of debates that we see not only in Montgomery County or Fairfax County, but across the nation about what in fact is the right level of investment. The council and I, you know, had a discussion about what we thought was right and what they thought was right. But at the end of that discussion was the benefit of Prince George's County students and residents. Because at the end of that, more money was put into our education system than we've ever. In fact, this year, the council and I have agreed to put $90 million more in our education system than we put last year. Now, you might not have known that because there was no heated discussion that you saw last year. Everybody remembers that discussion, but they don't remember how far we've come. And the reason I bring it up is, and the reason that it's important, is because we understand in order to move our county forward, that we have to invest in our young people. That in order to move our county forward, we have to invest in our young people. Whether you are focusing on business development, whether you're focused on bringing residents to the county, whatever it is, economic development does not happen, business does not happen, people don't move here unless we have a quality education system. We understand that. But we also understand that we can't do it alone. We can't do it by ourselves. We need partners. That's why this is important, Lisa. We need young people who understand that given the opportunities, and that's what you're given. You're given the opportunities to work with folks that now you have a responsibility. You know, I was at a graduation yesterday for Chelsea School. It's a great school. It's for children who have special needs and learn differently. But every last one of those 15 children are going on to college or going on to a career. Denny and Mary, the speaker was the chair of the council. And I have to say, I was a little afraid when he got up there because he could be long-winded. But he said something I thought he was absolutely great. Because he said something that I hope our young people here take to heart. And he pointed to the folks in the audience and he said, your job with this opportunity that we've given you, that your teachers, your parents, and your support, your job from here on out is to be the best you can be. Because nobody else can be you. If you are the best you that you can be, then we're all going to benefit from it. Prince George's County would benefit from it, the state of Maryland, society, because you living out your skills and talent that God has given you uniquely is going to help us do great things. That right there is the powerful message. And when he said that, it made me think of even my own journey. Now I'm sure if you go back and you talk to, well, Paul can't talk to, Paul Rowe knows, you know, my best friend from high school, who I came to Howard University with. Now if you go back and talk to him, there is nobody in my elementary school, middle school, or high school who ever thought, forget being county executive, that I ever have a real job. They probably think I don't have a real job. Because nothing in the background of me growing up would have said that I would end up where I am. Nothing except for the fact that I had, you know, and they put this in the notes because I talk about it a lot, and, you know, and I'm not ashamed of it, is that, you know, I had a learning disability. I couldn't read. I had a problem reading at an early age. And that problem made me stay back in the 1st and 2nd grade. So I was always older than my peers in school, which meant that if you were like me and you moved around a lot, which is what I did, because my dad was in the military, I also had a habit, and I know the council people don't, especially Mary, you know this. It's hard to believe, but I actually have a temper.
Yes, he does.
I have a little bit of a temper. And when you combine that with frustration in the classroom and children being children, it leads to a bad outcome if you aren't channeled in the right direction. And in my case, it led to me fighting. And it led to me getting kicked out of school. And it was a pattern that I would repeat. But what I realized, and what I hope the young folks here realize is, and it took me a while, so I'm not as bright as, you know, the young people here, is that I was so blessed. I was just beyond blessed. That I had parents and teachers who never ever once thought that I wouldn't go to college. If you'd have saw my father in Okinawa when they were about to send us off the island, they're like, that child got the goats. It was never in his mind that his second-born child wasn't going to college. It took me a long time to realize how blessed I was. In fact, it took me till I was 17 years old to realize the opportunities I had been given were not the opportunities that everybody throughout the United States is given. White, black, Latino, whatever. The fact that I had two parents who were saving money for their child who really didn't have great grades to go to college. The fact that my dad would say, well, what schools are you looking for? And he'd name some, and I was like, are you kidding me? The fact that I had no motivation to do anything other than play football. But I realized, thanks to, and I say this, and it's the truth, I read a book because I had to. Because I had to do a report in school, or else I couldn't play football. And it was Black Boy. When I read Richard Wright's Black Boy, it just opened my eyes to everything that I had been given. It never occurred to me that my cousins who lived less than 80 miles away from me did not have the same upbringing that I had, did not have the same family support that I had, did not have the teachers that I had. And it wasn't because I was like my wife, a very good student and very smart and very good person. It was because God had blessed me to put me in the household that He put me in. Had He not done that, I wouldn't be here today taking up your time. But because He did it, it made me feel something that has motivated me from that day to this day, and I'm almost 58 years old. And that is a sense of guilt. A sense that for 17 years I wasted opportunities that were given to me. A sense that There's a whole bunch of people more deserving than I am who should have been given this opportunity, but they weren't because God allowed me to be blessed with the parents and teachers that I was. So my closing thoughts to the young people is, that's what this is. Don't ever think it's anything else. Your hard work, your dedication, the fact that you're sitting in this room today is because you have been blessed. It's not a monetary blessing. It's more than that. It's not materials. It's something they can never ever take away. It's knowledge. It's exposure. That is why everyone's here. That is why people are pouring everything they got into you. So that someday you can be like these young ladies, shaping policies in other people's lives. So that someday you can run a hotel like this, providing opportunities for people. But whatever it is that blessing for you to give back so that somebody else can be blessed. God bless you. Thank you, Pastor.
The parents of the 2016 seniors come up front, please. Again, the parents of the 2016 L.E.E.P seniors, please come forward. Again, all parents. Okay, thank you.